there was a tribute to Dolly Parton over the weekend, right? So it was had a bunch of country music stars there celebrating Dolly Parton at the Grand Ole Opry, which is pretty cool. I like Dolly Parton. She's a legend. What's not, and of course, that giant rack. What's not to love about Dolly Parton? She deserved to be honored just for that bod. But she had one of the stars who was there celebrating her was the country music star Elle King. Now, I don't know if you guys have people that and I don't know, I may have mentioned this before, I'm not 100% sure, but I have certain people in this world, and usually it's in entertainment because I see them more frequently, who I just can't look at. Elle King is one of them. I have a hard time looking at Elle King. Another one that I had a problem when I was younger, Sissy Spacek. I have a hard time looking at her. If you don't know who Sissy Spacek is, I'll get a picture of Sissy Spacek, 1980s. So here's a picture of Sissy Spacek in the 1980s. Here she is. This is, so if you don't know what Sissy Spacek, she was in the movie Carrie and other movies. I have a hard time looking at her. I don't know why. I always have. She makes me uncomfortable when I look at her. Well, that's weird. Those don't disappear away. Supposed to. I can't really look at her. Can't look at Sissy Spacek. And this Elle King character is also like that. Now, Elle King actually is, if you don't know who Elle King is, she's a country music star, but she's also the actor and comedian Rob Schneider. It's his daughter. Now, I don't know what it is about her necessarily that makes her so hard to look at for me. I really can't place it. But there are times, and here's a picture of Elle King. Kind of not the greatest picture because it's got Dolly in it too, but yeah, here you go. So here's Elle King. All right, there you go. There's Elle King on the left with Dolly Parton there. Something about Elle King, and this is probably the best picture in the world I've ever seen of her, because usually when I see her doing something live or something else, she looks very red, like really ruddy. Like I know I have a little bit red, but that's because I'm on the wind now. I'm getting windburn on my face and chapped lips and stuff. But she always has that weird red ruddy look on her. And she always looks like she's ready to pop, like Kelly Clarkson. Falcor said she is Rob Schneider's daughter. What miracles are you asking for? No, I know. I'm not expecting her to be that attractive. In fact, that actually has nothing to do with why I'm bringing her up. She's in the news because she, at the Dolly Parton celebration over the weekend at the Grand Ole Opry, Elle King apparently came out on stage. And by the way, I hate to rip on Elle King because I'm sure there are plenty of people who look at her and find her absolutely beautiful. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder or whatever. So it is weird though. Like, there are some women who look at me and find me attractive. There are some women who look at me and find me completely ugly. Same with you. There are some people who look at you and find you very attractive, and there are people who look at you and find you very ugly. It's a weird world we live in. Weird thing. But in this case, those are two people who just are hard for me to look at. But anyway, here's her on stage at the Grand Ole Opry celebrating Dolly Parton.
Hi, my name is Elle King. I'm hammered.
So she went on stage and completely lost her mind. I can't really play it because there's a lot of Dolly. So she ends up admitting she forgets the lyrics to a song. So basically she went on stage and just told them, and the raw video is just not out there anywhere. I've looked all over for it. I think that's why I ended up not having this video pulled, because I was looking for the actual whole full raw video of her coming out on stage and going, I'm fucking hammered at a Dolly Parton tribute of all things. Like, it's one thing if it's at like your own concert, I guess. Like she even like she said something along the lines of like people, even if you're not happy about it, you're not going to get your money back. All this stuff. Where is it at? Do I have the actual full video here? Did I find the full video all of a sudden? Hold on, I might have found the whole video actually, so that I'd rather play that if we can. Here she goes. Here we go. All right, so it goes on and on. Let's get to the part where
That's
she
a
said,
B-side.
I'm not even gonna lie.
That's a B-side for you.
did she say she's hammered?
I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, holy shit, we bought tickets for this.
Come on, shut up.
Everyone's like, holy shit, we bought tickets for this shit. I'm not even gonna lie. Damn. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's a B-side for you.
Holy shit. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Y'all bought tickets for this shit? You ain't getting your money back. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing that's true.
I don't want it.
Good. Because you ain't getting it.
That shit's
That's it.
That shit.
I'll tell you one thing more. I'll tell you one thing more. Hi, my name is LK. I'm fucking hammered.
We're celebrating Dolly's birthday the good
I'll tell
old-fashioned
you what,
way.
yeah, go ahead and tell them I'm celebrating Dolly's birthday.
You're celebrating Dolly's birthday with the bottle.
I don't celebrate a birthday in one way or two.
Elle, let's give him one of yours.
How about that? I don't know. Go ahead.
I forget my
Why don't you
own
give me this
song.
shit? Let me see. Let me see. If I,
Why wouldn't
I'll
they
tell you
just
one
get her
thing.
off
I can barely
stage?
play another person's song. Let me see if I can play one of mine. Let me ask you. Are y'all having fun tonight? I'm sad. Are y'all having
Anyway, so there it is. There she's all drunk, ruining a tribute to Dolly Parton. I can't believe they didn't cut her off. I can't believe they just let her go and didn't say, all right, we're going to move on. Next person up, we have so-and-so or whatever. Some kind of thing. Look, I wonder what, what is the issue with that? Because, I get stage fright when I do, actually before weddings. I take this medication that it's not like there's not like anything that like sedates you or anything like. I think it's a beta blocker or something. But it's like non-habit forming. It's this. I take one of them and it actually works. Because I get such bad like anxiety and stage fright before events, like an hour before. I haven't even gotten there yet. It happens at home. I'm by myself. So by the time I get there, it's already gone because I take this medication and I go from literally, I'll be like this. And I just can't, I can't stop my hand from shaking because I'm freaking out so much. And then I take this medication and it goes away. In the past, back in the days when I was on the old job, I would usually drink before that. On like event kind of things. I would have like a beer or a glass of wine or a shot or one little thing to kind of give me, just kind of take that edge off, and it would kind of usually help. This stuff is, but then you're getting a little buzzed. You know what I mean? This stuff, no buzz. It just, I take the pill, 20 minutes later, I've forgotten that I was even feeling weird at all, and then it's just gone. So I'm wondering if maybe this is something that she has to deal with. She is, her biggest song is called I'm Drunk and I Want to Go Home. So I don't know, maybe drinking is her thing. But I don't know, maybe she just tried to drink because to take the edge off. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I haven't been completely lit at events. There's been plenty of plenty of events, meetups.
It's another dumb show.
Hello. Welcome to Another Dumb Show. I am Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on issue number, what are we on? 171. So good to have you guys all with me here this evening. You know how good it feels to have you guys streaming on my tube. It feels so good. Feels so right having you guys streaming on my tube every night. There you go. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. That is the number to call if you would like to call into the show. You know I pay for these damn phones, so I love when you guys call in. So don't be afraid to call in. Don't be shy. Your old pal Dumb doesn't beat you up too bad on the phones, I promise. Ooh, that went down quick. Boy, that thing, the volume on that sucker dropped quickly. Anyway, welcome guys to Another Dumb Show. Hope you guys had a great night. Let's see here. Let's start things off. Hold on one sec. I lost my place here. Hold on one sec. Oh yeah, by the way, shout out to the League. I appreciate all you guys being here. The League is our chat. For those of you who don't know, that's what we call the League of Dummies. So those of you who would like to become a member, one of the League of Dummies, all you have to do is subscribe. 10 minutes later, you can get in the chat and you can get in there and kick it with all those guys. And then from there, if you want to, oh, there we go. We're going to put that down then. So distracting sometimes, guys. Just trying to do a show and then doing all that doesn't help. So anyway, you can always follow the show at Another Dumb Show. I get it wrong every night. I always do the wrong side. At Another Dumb Show is how you can follow us on Instagram or Twitter. But anyway, you want to be one of the League of Dummies, you can go in there and you can make fun of me as much as you like. Just subscribe, and 10 minutes later, you can be in there running your mouth. We are always looking to add new members to the League. If you want to go hit the join button, then you can become an official member of the League of Dummies, and we'd love to have you guys there. One last reminder, too. I brought this up last night, but I always forget to talk about it, so I'm going to keep reminding people just in case they didn't see last night's issue. If you don't know, I had a guy tell me today, I think Kyle emailed me earlier, and he was saying he's got a long day on the roads today. And obviously and I'm out driving on the roads and whatnot, during the day, I can't be watching TV. I can't watch my handsome face while I'm driving, and neither should you. But you can hear my golden tones by downloading the audio-only version of Another Dumb Show, and that is available on YouTube Music. So I encourage you guys to please go ahead and do that. That way, you can drive safely, not have to worry about crashing your car or any of that good stuff. Let's see here. I have an email from Nugget Man. It said, on yesterday's show, you mentioned the broadcasting school you attended, along with a memory of a fellow classmate, and wished them well. Would you ever be interested in reconnecting with any classmates from the broadcasting school, or be willing to work with any recent graduates? I didn't keep in touch with really anybody from broadcasting school, at least in my class. Not because I didn't get along with any of them. I think honestly, I just kind of, and not to, rake on them or anything like that. I just was one of the only people who, I didn't make it now, I'm out, but got into radio or got into what they were trying to do out of broadcasting school. fact, one of the guys that was in my class, I think, tried to sue the school because he was saying that it didn't, or he was threatening to sue the school at least at one point, because I think he was saying that it didn't live up to all the things it was said it was going to do or whatever, which didn't make sense to me because I went in, learned what I needed to learn. They said you got to try to get an internship somewhere. I pulled, and like the first day they had you write down your goal, and I wrote down get an internship on Rover's Morning Glory, and cool, really cool thing. Like, I don't know, a couple days later, the way they would do class is they would start off class by introducing all the different opportunities for internships that they had available, and they would explain them, and then at the end of class you could go ahead and they'd give you the contact information. You can go ahead and get a hold of them and try to apply for the internship. Well, as soon as they announced the internship for RMG at the beginning of class, I was like, well, I'm not going to let all these other doofuses, not doofuses, but just, at the time I didn't know them. It was the beginning of the school year, so they were just dipshits as far as I cared. I was like, I'm not going to let all these dipshits get out ahead of me. So I immediately raised my hand and said, I have to go to the bathroom. And went to the bathroom, didn't go to the bathroom. I left the classroom and immediately went to there's like a little computer lab. Went right to the computer lab, found Doogie's email, and emailed her so I could, that's obviously the old co-host of the old show. Emailed her and got an interview, and next thing I knew, I had the job. So I was like one of the only people who really, by the end of school, had a job in radio or TV or anything like that. So I think, my best friend who I went to school with, Dumber, there's Dumb and Dumber, he went to the broadcasting school. He was in my class, actually. He started with me. I think he left RMG because they didn't like him. And so he ended up going over to a competing morning show, which was a big fucking hullabaloo behind the scenes. Well, not even behind the scenes. It was, management was not happy with me because my best friend who was on the show went to go work on a competing morning show, and I'm like, I'm here. I'm doing my work. I don't care what this asshole's up to. I'm not really even friends with him anymore. I'm here doing my job. So I think he ended up he did some small market radio for a little bit, and then I believe he got out of radio. So I don't really think that anybody from my class made it into broadcasting at all. And if they did, and I'm forgetting someone, I apologize. But as far as being interested in reconnecting with them, sure, I'd love to hear from them. I don't know if any of them watch or hear. I haven't heard from any of them in forever, but I'd be happy to reconnect with them. They're all pretty cool. Did a lot of partying with them after class and in between classes and stuff like that, man. We'd go back to the girl I mentioned yesterday. We'd go back to her place and we'd get ripped in between class and then go back. I think there was a break, or I don't remember, there was a morning and an afternoon, or I don't even remember how the schedule worked. Or maybe I would leave the radio station and get ripped before class. I don't even remember, but that school was super easy for me. I'll be honest with you. I'm not trying to be a brag about it, but it was pretty easy as far as the stuff they taught you. It was just, once you learned the technical part of it, that's really all you learned there. If you have talent and a voice and can be creative and all that kind of stuff, then you're going to get a job. All the other stuff they really taught you was technical stuff. So as far as being willing to work with any recent graduates, I'm not against it. Send them my way. I'm happy to have, that'd be great. I'd love to. So if there's any OCB grads watching, hit me up, anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. I'm always looking to add another voice to the show. So, or if anybody who's not even a graduate, if you think you're opinionated and you're got a lot to say about things, and you think you could be creative and help come up with content for the show and things like that, and definitely interested in talking to people. So shoot me an email, anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. During the recap, I saw that I played back I don't even know what you call it, the just absolute terrible performance from what's her name, Elle King. It was a pretty shitty performance. Everybody was upset that I played it again because of her singing was just so. It was like listening to I think somebody compared her to the yodeling kid at Walmart. So people not too happy with her, but I really was playing it more not to talk about what a great singer is, just to show what a complete fucking train wreck she was. Like, here she is again. Oh, wrong one. There we go. What is this playing? Oh, I'm playing last night's. That's why I'm not playing the right one. It's showing that. So here, we'll just do the full screen. There we go.
I'm not even gonna lie. Damn. I'm not even gonna lie.
Anyway, so there she was, all drunk on stage, making a fool out of herself, like a complete idiot. I had a good time making fun of her. Well, there is an update to the story after she destroyed the Dolly Parton tribute at the Grand Ole Opry. They decided to, well, let's see, she was supposed to play at Billy Bob's, Texas, which is, I'm not sure exactly where that's at. Where is Billy Bob's, Texas? That is in Fort Worth, Texas. I guess that's like the name of the venue, the concert hall there in Fort Worth. But anyway, they have rescheduled her concert. It's been moved from this January 26th, coming up here. What is that? This, I think, a couple days from now. That would have been on Friday. And they moved it to September. And they are giving refunds for it, at least, but which is funny because she said, you ain't going to get your money back for this damn show, and the other one. But it looks like people are going to might get their money back since she canceled this Friday. Sorry, Elle King, don't feel bad for you. You ruined a Legends tribute. So I think that she's obviously she's gonna take some time. She's gonna go on her journey, as they all say. I heard, what's her name, the weather girl, Holly Strano, that Cleveland meteorologist who got the DUI. I heard her the other day. I saw a news story about it, that she's going on her journey to try to get better, and get over and go through her journey of sobriety and working on herself for all that. So I'm wondering if this is what Elle King is trying to do. But the crazy thing is, they reached out to Elle King's camp and they gave no valid explanation for the postponement. So you can just speculate. Maybe her drinking problem has gotten the best of her and she shouldn't be performing. So there's the update to Elle King. And oddly enough, the other country star we talked about last night, remember we talked about Chris Young? Well, he is back in the news. There's video that has come out. We talked about last night how he was at this bar in Nashville. He was sitting there drinking, hanging out, just kind of minding his own business, being a guy at a bar, you know. Maybe he was going to perform later or earlier or something like that. You know, these country artists, they will show up at these venues and, you know, they practice songs, stuff like that. This dude was sitting at the bar, chilling. Who knows, maybe getting ready to perform or whatever. And there was some sort of alcohol commission agent who was coming in, making sure all the bars were in compliance, checking IDs, seemingly some sort of random kind of thing. Oh, wait, hold on one sec. Why is this video not playing here? Oh, so I might have to pull this over here. Anyway, we talked about how there was a incident between this alcohol agent and Chris Young. Chris Young had to show his ID to the guy. Then after the fact, when this alcohol agent left the bar, Chris Young followed the guy to the other bar, to this next bar down. I don't remember what it was called. At some point, there was some sort of interaction between the two of them, and things started to escalate. According to the news story we saw yesterday, the cop accused Chris Young of shoving him. He put his hand on his shoulder, and essentially accused Chris Young of instigating a fight. Well, video has come out now, and you can judge for yourself what you think, but I think Chris Young, this cop, or whatever this person is, if he's a cop, some sort of, I don't know what you'd call him. I guess they have badges. Who knows? I don't know what authority they have, but Chris Young ended up getting arrested, so they must have some sort of authority. And well, now there's video that's come out. Watch this video and tell me what you guys think. If he should be, I don't know, maybe have the charges dropped if he was in the wrong. Because I don't know. You tell me what you think here. There he is in the. This is at the second bar. He's clearly, his hands are in his pocket, and that's the moment right there. He tries to. Oops, sorry, I got a weird video here, so it's gonna pop up thing up every time I stop it. But there it is. So you see. The guy, that's the ATF agent that tries to walk past him. And Chris Young reaches his hand out. So he tries to stop him, like, yo, where are you going, buddy? I'm not done with you. And that guy shoves Chris Young, who then falls over a bar stool onto the ground, starts backing up with his hands away from the guy, and essentially trying to de-escalate the whole thing. And somehow he ends up getting arrested for disorderly conduct, assaulting a police officer. Who knows what happened after that video cuts off, if it goes on and Chris Young ends up, grabbing a hold of the cop or doing whatever. But he's facing disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and assault on an officer. But I tell you what, with this video, I don't think he did anything wrong. Yeah, I mean, you can't put your hands on a cop. But if he didn't do anything beyond what they showed in the video, if it didn't escalate past that at that point, then this dude's going to get off. He didn't do it. He shouldn't get in trouble for, maybe give him disorderly conduct for putting his hands on that's on a police officer. That's like the catch-all or whatever. 844-HIT-DUMP, 844-448-3862. At this point, I'd say let this dude off, though. I don't think he should get anything. I think that it seems to me that agent was kind of pretty aggressive in that situation. I mean, if anything, you just stop. Again, you got to hold yourself. I don't know what sort of police officer these guys are, what, oaths they take or whatever. But, if you're doing any sort of law enforcement, again, I've said this in the past, you have got to hold yourself to a higher standard. And now, if I was Chris Young, this does suck. He does kind of look like a bitch the way he goes flying and falls over that chair. But I mean, he does get kind of sucker pushed. So I can't really blame him too much for it. Let's see here. Let me pull this up one more time. I want to see that guy push him one more time. Here is where he pushes him. So again, Chris Young reaches his hand out right there, tries to stop him, and this guy just shoves him right over. Pretty aggressive. Pretty unnecessary at that point. I really don't think that dude needed to do that. But maybe he didn't like the way Chris Young was acting. Who knows what was going on before that, what they were talking about, what they were saying to him. Who knows? But just based on that video, it looks like this dude should not be getting into any trouble. And yesterday I was saying, oh, he's just going to get a slap on the wrist because he's a celebrity or whatever. And I actually kind of think in this case he probably should get a slap on the wrist. So. Just a reminder to everybody, if you do want to make a comment to me, make sure you guys put if you're in the chat, make sure you put an @another dumb shell on it. That way I see your comment, please. Let's see here. What's this other story I have here? Oh yeah, I have another update. A story that we talked about a while back is the story of this girl. Her name is Bryn Spiker. I think that's how you say her name. Spaker. It's spelled SPEJCHER. So it could be a million different weird pronunciations. But anyway, Bryn, we'll just call her. Bryn, or we'll call her Asswipe. Bryn's the asswipe who, if you don't remember her, she claimed she took 2 bong hits of marijuana and went insane because of the weed. She ended up, she stabbed her date that she was with. She took the bong hits. She was on a date with this guy, and they're back at his house. He says, here, take a couple hits off the bong. She takes 2 bong hits and decided that she was going to stab him, her date, this guy named Chad. Chad O'Melia is his name. She stabbed poor Chad 108 times in what she afterwards described as a weed-induced frenzy. Gotta be fucking kidding me. The arrest went crazy. She stabbed herself. I mean, here's a picture of, I have her, there's the mug shot. You could see she's all cut up herself. She's got, all over her neck and whatnot. She fought the police. She was so out of control, they had to beat her with the batons on the legs to get her to stop fighting back against them and resisting. All according to her, because she took 2 bong hits of weed. Bullshit. Don't believe that for 1 second. Well, this girl, the update is a couple days ago, I had this story, I think yesterday or the day before. This woman in this case, after she stabbed this guy 108 times, was only given an involuntary manslaughter. That's all she's been charged with and convicted of. That's the word I was looking for. Excuse me. She was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, not voluntary manslaughter, not manslaughter, not, which I don't know what the difference is, but not murder either, not homicide, even though she stabbed this guy 108 times. And again, this is all because she went psycho after she smoked pot. I got to say, even if she was high on weed, though, was the weed's fault? Is it the weed's fault? Really? It's still your fault if you're on weed. Like, if you drive drunk and kill somebody while you're driving drunk, is that involuntary manslaughter? Is that not murder or voluntary manslaughter? Why is weed any different? And to make things even worse, even though she got convicted of involuntary manslaughter, the judge in this case, this fucking asswipe judge, he went on to sentence her, a murderer, in my opinion. Well, she got a slap on the wrist. This Ventura County judge, his name is David Worley. This guy, he said that this Bree chick this is the quote from him, that she, quote, experienced a psychotic break from reality, end quote, and, quote, had no control over her actions, unquote, when she killed Chad O'Melia. This was back on Memorial Day weekend in 2018. The sentence that they gave her after she stabbed this guy 108 times, freaking 100 hours of community service. So what is that? A week? 4 days? 5 days? I mean, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And she got 2 years of probation too on top of that. So, and this is the best part about it. The 100 hours of community service isn't like hard community service, like on the side of the road, like in the cold, picking up like trash or something like that. No, she's going to spend those 100 hours. She's going to supposedly do that, educating others on marijuana-induced psychosis. You've got to be fucking kidding me. So she's going to go around telling people about her fake made-up thing that she made up in the murder. Oh, my God, you got to be fucking kidding me. She's also promised, she promises to spend the rest of her life debunking the myth that cannabis is harmless. I have met so many people who smoke weed. I've never, ever, ever, in all my years of smoking, ever seen somebody go crazy from smoking weed. Now, I've seen when I was a teenager, before I even started smoking, I saw people like teenagers. I don't like teenagers smoking because their brain's still developing, and I think that really screws with, like the teenagers. A lot of the dudes I know who smoked when they were teenagers are really struggling these days. Not that I'm some sort of pillar of stability or whatever, but a lot of these guys, it made it for a really hard time for them in school because they would miss, some of them were on the football team, they'd miss practice, they'd be late to practice, they'd be skipping school, all this stuff, and getting themselves into all kinds of trouble. So I can understand how weed can lead to getting into trouble because it's illegal and kids are going to do it behind backs and stuff like that. But it really kind of messed these dudes up for a while. Some of them got their shit together, but a lot of them really kind of struggled for a really long time and well into adulthood. And much unlike a lot of the people I know growing up who didn't smoke weed, did not have any of these problems. So I don't know, maybe weed is something can cause problems, but I don't think it's causing psychosis by any means. I got to be honest with you, this judge, his stupid personal opinion about marijuana, it should cause him to be removed from the bench. To be quite honest with you, in my opinion, at least, because it's his personal opinion about pot clouded the his opinion on this case. You know what I'm saying? So like this guy reminds me of my dad. He's got some sort of weird hard on or hard. He hates weed. And who knows what now they're saying, oh, it's so much more potent now, or blah 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 blah. But so there's actually even a doctor who commented during the case, a forensic psychiatrist, an expert witness in the trial, Dr. Chris Mohandi. He wrote, excuse me, he said, this case is an important example of how marijuana is not just a harmless drug. These days, it is so potent that you can induce a psychotic reaction with one use. And I am seeing these types of cases increase. Because it's legal, there is an illusion that it's safe. The truth is, it is a mind-altering drug. And with any mind-altering drug, there's always going to be an element of roulette. I am sure I will see more and more cases like Brin's. More people than ever are using it. And that includes a lot of people who never would have touched it. But because it's legal, the message is, it won't harm you. Well, it might. You know what, Dr. Mohandi? Go fuck yourself, dude. Nobody is going around killing people because they're high. This is the only fucking case in the history of the world where somebody said they're high and caused any, like, not maybe, okay, people driving high, they'll hit people and kill them. Obviously, that could happen, you know, if you're super high driving like a fucking idiot, or even a little high driving like an idiot, it could distract you. So people have been killed because of that, for sure. But to cause, which is just, again, that's a distracted thing, or your mind's a little altered, and maybe some people affects weed in the way they see or hear or what's in front of them. But to say it would cause any sort of psychosis to the point where you would stab someone 108 times is just absolute fucking horseshit. I don't buy it for 1 second. This girl got off with murder. She literally got away with murder, and only has to do 2 years of probation, which I'm sure she doesn't have to do any drug testing or anything like that. I feel bad for this family. This Chad guy, I know his dad was in the news. And his dad even almost, I think, after the thing got brainwashed a little bit too. And he was saying how marijuana is so bad and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, dude, you just essentially put the nail in the coffin on your son's case to where this chick would get put away for actual murder, instead of just this stupid marijuana psychosis thing. And now your son's killer is going to do 100 hours of community service. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So let's see here. Vanilla Charlie says, a friend of mine took some pills at work and was so high, me and a coworker snuck him out to his car and kept him there for like an hour or so until he came down. I even took his keys from him. Not a bad move. Not a bad move whatsoever. Why not just fucking, just let the guy go sleep it off, whatever he was on, up or down, just let him go, chill out in the car so the boss doesn't catch up. I don't know what you do for Vanilla Charlie, but if you drive a forklift or something like that, you don't want some dude you just don't want anybody freaking out at work for any reason. So if you can, and if you know the guy and they're a good person and you don't want to, I don't know, you get yourself in a lot of trouble doing that shit though too, man. So I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. You want to help your buddy, but you can end up getting fired just for being associated with that. So I don't know. Be careful there, Vanilla. And JB said, it's ridiculous, man. That judge is a joke. Jeff Jr. says, smoke weed every day. That's for sure. And Lady Di says, life causes psychosis. I totally agree with you. Amen right there. All right, here. Let's see. Drew S. with a really good point. He said, that's messed up. Not even 1 hour for each time she stabbed the dude. That is crazy. More stabs than community service hours. Jake, who gets drunk sometimes. You're on another dumb show. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Dude, I have a big opinion on this case that this woman is getting, what did you say, 100 hours or 10 hours or 50 hours of community
One
service?
100. She stabbed the guy 108 times, and she's doing 100 hours of community service.
Dude, like, all right, so let me just put it this way. When you get an OVI in the state of Ohio, you have to serve a mandatory, or maybe not your first time, I think your second time, 72 hours in jail. In jail is way different than community service.
Of course, of course. And this is not actual like I said too. It's not even like hardcore community service. All she has to do is talk about how marijuana can cause psychosis for 100 hours. That's all she has to do. Just tell her bullshit
yeah, but
story.
if you want to talk to me, who's been well smoked out over well over 100 hours, in January, the first month of this year. Granted, I'm not smoking like I was when I was 16. When I was smoking when I was 16, I was getting pretty lit. Now I'm just kind of getting right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But, dude, I've seen people, the only time I've seen people freak out like that is there was an epidemic back in the day, maybe 2012 to 2016, like a K2 epidemic going through synthetic
Sure.
marijuana.
Yes,
And,
that's actually what got me back into smoking weed.
oh yeah, dude.
A guy.
I went to jail when I was 18. I went to jail. Yeah, I went to jail when I was 18. I turned 18 on October 15th. I was on juvenile probation. Got caught. They sent my piss to a lab. I was on probation because I got caught smoking weed, a victimless crime, and I got caught smoking K2. They sent me to county jail in Medina, which now looking back, it is pretty much like a Hilton compared
Wait a
to
minute.
other jails. But,
I thought K2. I thought that stuff was legal.
dude, I was on probation, so it's a controlled substance.
Okay, gotcha. My bad. All right, I understand.
So and I was also underage. You know what I mean? I was actually, I think it was an 18-year-old thing, but I was still on probation, so it was a controlled substance.
So
They sent me to county jail.
The K2 stuff does cause people to go kind of nuts. Did you see somebody take that stuff? I mean, go nutty?
Okay, so I had an ex-girlfriend, obviously back when I was 18, and we were smoking weed in the basement, and I was like, hey, I can't hit this weed because I'm on probation, but I'll pack this bowl of K2. So I pass it around, it goes around the circle of the couch, the stoner basement couches, and it gets to my girlfriend at the time. She hits it, passes it off to the next dude, straight up has a seizure, dude. Was screaming, arms straight out in front of her. This is while she's sitting on the couch, flailing, and her legs kicking madly. And I was like, holy shit, somebody fucking stick something in her fucking teeth, because she's like fucking chomping her fucking grits. And
well, that's a
I'm
different.
thinking she's having a seizure.
That's a different story than any sort of psychosis or anything like that. That's her just having a bad reaction to some weird stuff. Like that K2 stuff, I remember, because like I said, that my Charlie on the old show, he got an endorsement for it. He had a bunch of it left over, I think, after
Dude,
the
I
endorsement
can't believe that's
ended.
even legal that he was able to get an endorsement for it.
Yep, I think so. He had a bunch of it left over, so I took it, and this is when I wasn't allowed to smoke weed when I was married to my ex-wife. So I was sneaking K2 and thinking it was okay because it wasn't weed. Like I found a loophole.
Right. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, this is my perfect. I can get stoned and still be under the radar.
But all it did actually was cause me to go back to smoking weed. So total gateway. But all right, so Jake, the point of the call is you agree that this judge is full of shit and their marijuana does
Full of
not cause
shit, dude.
psychosis?
I have never the closest I've ever seen anybody come to psychosis was using K2. I have smoked myself severely stoned in my teenage years when, you know, the bong just keeps going around the circle and the dealer dude or myself, whatever, the blunts just keep rolling around the circle. I've been severely stoned. I've never been in psychosis. The most closest I've ever seen anybody to it is they fall asleep and they start drooling on themselves, man. I don't know how somebody starts stabbing somebody. Dude, the closest thing all right, so to me.
Well, hold on. Let me cut you off there real quick. Hold on. Let me cut you off. Whatever. Are you able to talk about the thing you were supposed to talk about a while back? Have you gotten into that? And you had some incident and you said it's crazy.
Well,
you have
I'm going to court
about
tomorrow.
You are? Okay.
I can tell you that I'm going to court tomorrow, so I might have an update tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well, dude, I wish you all the luck in court. Make sure you dress nice. Don't go in there wearing a hoodie and some camo pants or some shit like that. Go in there, put a fucking shirt on and a
dude,
tie.
No, I just nice for court. But see, dude, the thing is, can I get your opinion on this? My lawyer was like, hey, this is just like a meeting between basically you and me and the prosecutor and the judge, who's a newly elected judge. And he's like, yeah, you could just come in work clothes. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, nah, I don't know about that, man. I should probably dress nicer than because, dude, I'm just a, you know, blue collar tradesman.
Right, you're gonna show up wearing.
I'm thinking I'm gonna wear a nice. Go ahead. I think I'm gonna wear a nice shirt under my hoodie and then nice pants and sacrifice the nice-ish work pants for one day and try to keep them nice, but. I think you're on the right page. Look nice. He's like, yeah, come in work clothes. I'm like, bro, I wear high vis. He's like, that's fine. I'm like, I don't think so, man.
No. I mean, I don't know what your lawyer's trying to make you look like a working man. I don't know the case or whatever. So maybe that's something to do with his, the case details. And he thinks it would be better for you to walk in there looking like a working man versus. I
got a job.
Yeah,
I got a job that I got to be at every day.
Yeah, and you're not like some sort of, there might be some merit to that argument, I'd say, but I don't know. The reason I say it is because when I went to court, I got a DUI years into I was 2002 or something. It was a long, long time ago. And I went to court, nice shirt, tie, all that stuff, and I was looking around at all the people around me. Almost nobody else dressed up nice. And this judge in front of me.
I swear to God, I had the same exact experience last time I went to court. And I'm like, does nobody care? Dude, there's a guy wearing like a fucking Dragon Ball Z hoodie with a Jenko jeans like down to his knees. And I'm like.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I watched the judge just throw the book at every single person in front of me. So I said, and then he got to me and he went really lenient on me. He went really easy on me, to be honest with you. It was crazy.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Dude, when I got my OVI, I swear to God, I went into court with me and one other guy into the judge's gavel room, whatever. And this guy's wearing honestly pretty nice clothes. He's wearing like a pullover, quarter zip, sweater and just some nice jeans, but I was wearing khakis and basically the same shirt I've ever always worn to court, which is my homecoming shirt. And he got double the fucking sentence for the exact same charge that I got. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Hold on, let me cut you off. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Jake. So same idea. Go in there.
All right, I'll let you go, Dom. I'm taking up too much airtime.
That's all right. Just go ahead, get yourself right for court, and call me back tomorrow or the day after when you're good to go, all right?
Sounds good, brother.
Good luck, dude. See ya.
Bye.
Whoop, I turned my mic off by accident. There's Jake, who sometimes gets drunk, calling into the show. I don't know if you guys remember a while back, he said there was some crazy story that he had to tell us. some sort of trouble he got in or something. So we'll have to see where that goes from there. But anyway, I will see what happens with. I guess nothing's gonna happen with that girl. She got a fucking slap on the wrist, and that's the end of it. So, boy, Jake can talk, man, huh? Jake loves. He gets rolling, man. Like I love we kind of get the gist of what happened in court. Like dress nice because the people in front of us didn't, and they got in more trouble than we did. I mean, we kind of nailed that. I don't think we really needed to keep going, rehash what we were all wearing again. So, all right. Well, while that woman didn't get into, let's see, what time is it? 7:50. All right. So, actually, let's do this. We started a couple minutes early. Fuck it. Let's just do this story. I take that back. I gotta go. I gotta take a leak. That's why I'm so fucking distracted right now. I was sitting there with Jake, and I'm like, oh my God. Is this guy ever going to get off the phone so I can go take a leak? Nothing. Jake, I love your phone calls. Please don't take offense to it, dude. Who was in there asking about what I'm drinking? Somebody asked, oh, whoa, hold on one sec. Somebody asked what I was drinking. I'm drinking iced coffee because I've been up all day, a long-ass day at work. So, who was it that asked that? Jen, I believe. So, thank you, Jen. That's what I'm drinking, iced coffee. And then I just saw something here. Is this true? Jim Harbaugh, officially the new head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers? Ooh, that's pretty cool. I like that. I know he played for the Chargers. Supposedly he is leaving Michigan and agreed to a 5-year deal with the Los Angeles Chargers, according to sources telling ESPN. Wow. He played quarterback there for 2 seasons, 99 and 2000. Yeah, he's done with Michigan. Leads Michigan to a national title. Says, you know what? I'm going to bounce, head to the NFL, and make some dough there. See if I can turn one of my former teams around. Boy, that's great. Jim Harbaugh, quarterback. He knows quarterbacks. That might be great for Justin Herbert, the quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers. That's the reason Brandon Staley got fired, the former coach of the Chargers, is because he didn't develop Justin Herbert the way that they wanted him to. He is an extraordinary talent, and he should be way more. He should be like C.J. Stroud is by the end of his first year, is what they think they're. Well, I know his numbers kind of look like C.J. Stroud's. I think they're just not as happy with his development as they were hoping he would be able to kind of lead them through all these tough games that they lost over the past couple of years. They lost a lot of close games. So, all right, well, there you go. There's a little NFL update for you. Brandon Staley out a while ago, and now Jim Harbaugh, legendary college football coach, making his way back to the NFL. So, all right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Those of you who have not hit a thumbs up on tonight's video, I would greatly appreciate it. If you already did hit a thumbs up, you rock. I really appreciate that. I never give you guys any credit. I always ask people for it, but never thank any of you for doing the thumbs up. So thank you to everybody who gives a thumbs up on the videos. I greatly appreciate it. So second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. Make sure you guys go get your little drinky drink, get your mokey moke, take those kids, get them like a, remember that bowling ball we saw Jason Kelsey do? Just grab them, take them like a bowling ball, right into the other room, slam the door, and say, we'll talk to you after 9. Alrighty, guys. We'll be right back on Another Dumb Show. Sit tight. Hang on. welcome back. All right, welcome back to another Dumb Show, issue number 171. So glad to have you guys streaming on my tube tonight. Thank you guys. I appreciate it as always. You guys are the best. A few things I noticed come up. First of all, I apologize to people who are adding me. I wasn't ignoring you. I had it on top chat, so I would see it and then it would be gone, and by the time I scroll back, it was gone already. So I apologize to anybody who is wondering why I'm ignoring them. I'm not ignoring you. I promise. Angelique, I believe, saw her ask a couple things. I don't think one of them was an at, but I did see she asked, why am I so grumpy? I'm not grumpy. I promise you I'm not grumpy at all. maybe a little bit, but it has nothing to do with you or anything like that. It is I had to pay a bunch of bills today. A lot of dough, just a lot of money, just right out the door. Pay a lot of bills today, so that was not fun. So it's just post-bill pay grumpiness. I think anybody can relate to that. But no, good to go. I'm good. And somebody was asking, I think again, Angelina, and then Crooked Orchids put in a super. She's also been a member now for 6 months. Used her 6-month anniversary message. Thank you so much, Crooked Orchids. I appreciate it. She's been a member for 6 months now. And she says, where's Mikey? With hearts, and says, miss you. Mikey is at home. I think he worked. He said he was tired and he had to sleep today because I think he worked late or started early in the morning or whatever. I didn't really understand. So, I mean, I can't remember. Not that I didn't understand. I can't remember exactly what he said in the text. Something along those lines. So, like I said, I told Mikey that if he is tired from work or anything like that, anything that's going to, distract from just us doing the show, I said, dude, just take the night off and sleep or whatever. I'd rather just have you on when you're, up and good to go and not tired and not beat from work. I'll handle that. I can handle it. Don't worry about it. So just, when you're up for it, come on. When you're not, sleep and do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? So again, Mikey, not a paid employee. Mikey doing it out of the kindness of his heart because he enjoys it and has fun doing it. So I have I can't exactly be like, oh, dude, I demand you be. No, and I just care about the dude and I want him to be happy and would, like I said, I would rather have not any distractions from the show as far as anything where he's not, just 100%, even if he's just too tired from work, then I just, or, having a bad day, anxious, depressed, whatever, just let him do his thing. The dude, Carrie from Rochester, you're on another Dumb Show. What's up?
Hi. Okay, so I'm calling in because I don't want to type all this. The reason I have Becky blocked is because she made a bunch of snide, rude comments toward me, and I don't need
Hold on. So people who aren't in the chat.
Why,
hold on, Carrie. So people who don't know what you're talking about. There's Carrie is a league member. She's talking about somebody named Becky who is a league member. Carrie hasn't been around for a minute. She just showed back up. She started talking in the chat. Apparently, Carrie has blocked a few people in the chat, and
because I'm not gonna listen to people's I don't need people being I'm not gonna listen to that. I'll just block you. I don't need it.
Was there a specific comment that Becky said that made you feel like
so one of the last times I called in, I was talking about outpatient rehab or when I was in rehab, and she was like, oh, you mean yesterday? No, I've been off heroin for many years now. So thank you for your opinion, but whatever.
I see. Okay.
That's what it was. I just don't need bullshit like that. So
yeah, so basically I'm
sorry you had to pay bills.
No, hey, it is what it is. Everyone's got to do it. It just sucks, for the short time period afterwards, you just start doing all the math on the next ones, and you're just like, God, this sucks. Just every month, it's the same fucking shit. It never goes away. Just costs more and more.
I've just been busy the past couple of weeks. It had nothing to do with the show. I've just been having a hard time. So,
I'm sorry.
Fine.
Did you get a new car? After last time we talked, you were in a car accident. You smashed some guy ran in front of you.
I have a new car. Yeah, no, I still don't have a new car, but one of my friends works at a school literally right by my new house. So she picks me up in the morning. I go to work and I pick her up at 5 o'clock. It works
Okay.
good, and I have a bunch of money put away. And yeah, I'm just miss my dog, and hopefully I can get her out of there soon.
Well, Blue Wolverine has a great idea. Who's now a member for now 7 months. Thank you very much, Blue Wolverine. You're the man. He said Becky
How
should.
long have I been?
I don't know. You'd have to. I don't know. It doesn't show unless
There's
you
a dog
actually.
next to my name.
It's a dog next to your name. I don't remember how long that is, to tell you the truth. But
whatever.
I actually have. I actually have Becky here, Carrie. If you would like to say anything to her, or if Becky would like to say anything to Carrie.
I mean, sure, if she wants to talk. I mean, whatever.
Yes.
I'm not. I don't. I really don't want to
I
argue.
did not
Like,
make
it's not
no
even worth
comment
it.
about Carrie going to no damn rehab. It was all geared towards Mikey and his rehab stint. So I don't know where she's coming up with this whole comment at. So she just needs to stop making shit up.
Oh, okay. So an allegation. So a miscommunication.
Okay.
Hold
All
on.
right,
Hold on. Becky's claiming it was a miscommunication.
I can't hear anything that she says.
No,
either.
it wasn't. She deleted the comment. She made the comment and then deleted it. Like, dude, I'm not arguing.
Hold
This
on.
is
Hold
not
on.
worth
Hold
my-
on. Hold on. You
this
can't
is
hear
not
her,
worth My
Becky. Hold on. Can you hear Carrie? Can you hear Becky? When she was talking, could you hear Becky talking?
Yeah, I could hear. Yes, she said
But-
she didn't make that comment. Blah blah. Yeah.
But for some reason, we couldn't hear Becky. Couldn't hear you. Why is it not letting
It doesn't
me?
matter.
Hold on. No, it matters to me. I'm trying to get this to work.
I think
How
I
about
can
now?
hear her now.
How about now? Becky, Carrie, can you guys hear each other?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, all right. So Becky was saying to Carrie that she wasn't talking to you, Carrie. She was talking to Mikey about some of his, rehab stints and things like that. Now, Carrie, are you willing to accept that, or do you disagree?
I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's not that big a deal.
Well, I guess it matters that Becky doesn't like being.
But she can't take comments that are made towards somebody else and think that they're made towards her and then want to cry about it.
Well, she's crying about it. I think she just blocked you, and then now you're saying, "Why'd you block me?" And that's the reason.
But she's a snowflake. If you can't take a comment, then what the hell?
Okay. Goodbye.
Oh, okay. Carrie hung up.
Exactly. See, there you go. She wants to take it the wrong way. Just because you don't like what somebody says, you just look past it and move on.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't. I mean, I'm not you, Becky. You know me. I'm not. Not everybody has the ability to do that. Some people take things, personally, and especially if it's written in chat and not verbalized over the phone. It seems like you have a pretty strong opinion about Carrie, if I'm not mistaken. There, it doesn't seem like she's your favorite person based on that. It was a pretty inflammatory response, I'd say.
For sure. I'm not saying that I don't like her. I don't like all her comments that she makes, but that doesn't mean that I say something every time she has to say something. I just ignore them and move on. Obviously, she can't do that.
Yeah, it seems like she's definitely having a harder time. Well, I kind of look at it like this too. Like when I am doing, like if I post something on Instagram or whatever, and somebody just says something, it has, like, I don't even know, just say a picture of my fucking dog or whatever, and then somebody says something nasty to me, I'm just gonna fucking block them. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to deal with it. Like, especially if it's something that has nothing to do with what I'm posting, I'm just not gonna, if you're just saying something nasty to me, I'm just gonna block you. And it's not because I'm a snowflake, it's just because
all the time in the chat. You just look by it and you just go on.
Yeah, but sometimes people, it's hard. Not like Becky, that might be very easy for you, but I'm telling you, for someone like me, I will see something that somebody says, and I can't help but comment on it or react to it in a way where I'm either going to. It's the fight or flight kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's maybe a little drastic, but it's the same idea. You can either choose to confront it in the fight mode, or you're like, you know what, I'm just going to walk away from this and block it so I don't even have to experience the fight or flight again. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but then maybe she shouldn't come in the chats and say some of the things that she says.
I think she's pretty. Sometimes she's come in there. Carrie comes in hot sometimes. I'll definitely give you that. But I think Carrie usually comes in with pretty good intentions. Usually when she's trying to talk to Mikey about what's going on with Mikey. But last time that she ended up talking to Mikey, she cursed him out, and it ended up getting crazy, and they had a big falling out. So Carrie can be a polarizing person.
No
I totally understand that.
Do you think that she has a room to talk to somebody about being sober?
Well, according to her,
anything, if you're not sober on everything, then you have a reason to talk to anybody about anything.
Well, I think I don't know. I think they both are California sober, and she has had her time.
But that's not sober.
Yeah, no, I know that, but nobody around here, as far as when we say the word sober, not all of us, most of the people here, I think, smoke weed or understand weed. As far as that doesn't fall under the category of sobriety to most of the people who watch another dumb show. Normal people, I would say, that falls in the sober category, but usually, like when I'm talking about sober, I'm talking about that means you don't drink, you don't do opioids, you don't do benzos, stuff like that. That's kind of like the California sober I'm talking about. You might smoke weed, but who cares? That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Okay, look, that's fine. I don't smoke weed anymore. I used to, and I do drink every now and then, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit here and preach to somebody about being sober and doing something.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I can understand.
I'm reading the chat, and you can tell Nugget that, yes, I never talked to my brother. I never have since I growed up to move out.
Wait, hold on. So Nugget Man is saying, then why did Becky never talk to her real family, her real brother ever again, but says we all family and Carrie shouldn't block her? I don't understand that story. What, you don't talk to your family or your brother, or was it just family falling out kind of stuff?
I didn't talk to my brother, and my brother's dead now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, my bad.
I didn't talk to him when he died.
Oh,
I haven't talked to my brother in I don't know how long, so that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Okay, cool. I just didn't understand what even the reference was. That's why I was a little confused there. Okay, all right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm reading the chats on another phone. I hadn't talked to my brother in quite a few years, and then my brother just died last year, and I didn't talk to him when he did die.
Oh, okay.
When you're just a piece of shit in life, then you're a piece of shit in life. There's nothing more that you can do about that.
Fair enough. I understand that. All right. Well, it doesn't seem as though you and Carrie are going to see eye to eye on this one. Becky, I will say, Becky, you are very opinionated, and I think, and I love that. I think it's great. And I think that
I very much so am a very opinionated person.
No, I appreciate that for sure. I mean, shit, you got opinions about me all the time too. Trust me, I know it. But and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's great. You talk shit all you want too. It's great. I just think sometimes maybe look at it, maybe put yourself in the other person's shoes for a little bit. Carrie, I think, is trying very hard right now. And kind of incidents like this, especially like she said, I don't know if she's been going through whatever, I don't know. I just kind of look at it like, I think Carrie is genuinely trying right now. And I think she cares about Mikey, and that's why she had said what she had said in the past, and it just, it got out of hand with the arguing and the yelling. But it was with good intention. And I think Carrie really does have good intention. But being up on a soapbox and being on your high horse certainly is not the best thing to do when you've been down the road that she's been down. So I can understand your frustration and why you have this opinion. So I'm certainly not wanting to tell you can't have the opinion, but I do hope that you guys will be able to work it out. But definitely understand that, there's people out there, Becky, who, if your opinion is so harsh that it makes them feel kind of personally offended, they might just block you. That's the beauty of the internet. You just don't have to deal with it. So
that's fine, but still don't run your mouth about somebody if you're just going to block somebody.
Yeah, well, she wasn't running her mouth about
the whole thing.
You at this point. She was, I think that again, that was the miscommunication.
She's saying that I made shitty comments or I make rude comments. Those comments were never made towards her.
Right, that was a miscommunication. That's what I'm saying. So that's the mix-up there. But
So don't sit there and still say that I'm making shitty comments if I didn't make them towards you.
right, okay. Well, again, I don't want to keep arguing about it all night, but again, it seems like the two of you are not.
I mean, it's fine, but still, like I said, don't say that I did something if I know that I didn't make no comments towards you in anything.
Right. I guess Carrie should have said. I think she might have actually even said I'm sorry or okay, but under her breath. But yeah, I don't think clearly you guys are not going to see eye to eye on this. But we'll see what happens moving forward if who gets unblocked and doesn't get blocked and all that good stuff. So the league drama
Well,
continues.
just for the record, I don't have anybody blocked.
Okay, well, that's not surprising to me one bit. you don't have the flight. You just want the fight, baby. Trust me, I get it. I get
You
it.
got that
Becky.
right.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you watching every night. Seriously, I know we bust balls, but I do appreciate your loyalty to Another Dumb Show very much. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, bye, Becky. Take it easy. See, I love you guys. It's great. So, Creepy Michelle says cutting off a toxic family member is a little different than blocking a random person in a YouTube chat for one comment. So that's not a comparison, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a little, I don't think some people, I totally understand the blocking shit on the internet. Like, I just get it. It's just easier for me. I mean, shit. That's the thing. I'll run my mouth though too. But it works two ways. Like I got blocked from my whole family thing. When my stepmom planned a birthday party for my dad on a day that I had a wedding and didn't even ask, I lost my fucking mind and made this big post in the family Facebook group or whatever, and I got blocked from the family Facebook group. So, it works both ways. You get blocked. I block people. It just happens. I mean, like I said, there's people who tried. I got a bunch of people blocked from watching this show just because their only reason they're watching is because they don't like me and they just want to get in the chat to run their mouth in a nasty way, which is different from like disagreeing with me about something. I love that debate or whatever, but if you're just coming on going, dumb, you suck, you failed on the radio or whatever, it's just like, dude, we get it. I used to be on the show. I'm not now. The show's still small. It's trying to grow. I get it. I get it. I don't need to fucking have people in there just stating the obvious about shit that I know and don't care about because I have no control over any of it other than just trying to work hard and be consistent. So I have no interest in having people whose only goal is to upset me. I would never, it's just the dumbest. Why would anybody put themselves in that position? I don't understand. Anyway. So, where do we leave off? That was crazy. I love when the league getting a good league fight every once in a while. That's always fun. So, another reason to join the league. Get in that chat. You can get your opinion in there. And of course, by the way, love when those phone calls come in. 844-HIT-DUMP. Excuse me. So before the break, we talked about that Bree chick who murdered a guy because of the weed psychosis. She didn't get into much trouble at all for that. Like, just got the slap on the wrist, 100 hours of community service or whatever. Total slap on the wrist for a murder. But there's another guy who, his name is Kenny Eugene Smith. He killed a woman in a murder for hire plot back in 1988. Okay, maybe this guy, I guess maybe he could have just said he was high, and he wouldn't have ended up where he is right now, which is on death row. So yeah, he should have said that back in 1988. But no, I think all the judges probably had that. They would have said that weed psychosis was a real thing back in 1988. That was in the height of the dare years. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so he's on death row now. He killed a woman in a murder for hire plot. There was some preacher who was in debt, and he was worried that his wife was going to find out that he was in debt. So this preacher hired this Kenny Smith guy and I think another guy to kill his wife. And he actually did, I believe he stabbed her to death. Well, tomorrow he is set to be put to death in an experimental procedure called nitrogen hypoxia. And I call it an experimental procedure because this method of execution, it's never been performed on a human in this manner before. So this case actually went all the way up to the Supreme Court. They ruled that his execution will go ahead tomorrow. He tried to get a stay of execution because of all of the unknowns about this gas. There's all kinds of crazy things, and I'll go over them in a minute, all the different like nutty things they're worried about with this gas because this method of execution because it's never been done before. It's I guess now, and I go like I said, I'll go through these concerns in a second. But when it comes to this dude and him being treated like a guinea pig, being the first one to go through this whole thing of this nitrogen execution, who gives a fucking shit? He fucking murdered a woman for $1,000. He decided a human life was worth $1,000. Now I know in 1988, in today's world that might be $5,000 or 10. I don't fucking know, due to inflation. Probably 15 thanks to Joe. But anyway, I seriously don't care about this guy. Use him as a fucking guinea pig. Just if this is a cheaper, easier way to kill people and it might be faster and less harmful than like the other, I don't know, electrocution or whatever the other way, the lethal injections that they do or whatever, use this guy as a fucking guinea pig. Who gives a shit? Yeah, $1,000 murder for fucking stab. $1,000 for a life. Who gives a shit? So he had no respect for her life. So yeah, use this guy as the fucking guinea pig. 844-HIT-TOM. 844-448-3862. Guinea pigs are super cute. You know what I'm saying? So don't use actual guinea pigs. Use murderers. Who gives a shit to test this stuff out? I don't give a shit. But I keep saying guinea pig, but actually this was a way that vets used to put down animals. But I think in the year 2000, it was banned by the American Veterinary Medical Association because they deemed it, quote, too distressing to the animals. So shit, why not just see what this fucking guy, why not just test it out on this guy? What's the difference? He's going to be killed anyway. Sorry if it sucks. You stab someone to death. Who gives a fucking shit? But so here's the reasons why people are kind of like, excuse me, there are people, obviously like his lawyer and people who are against the death penalty and things like that. And even though there's like a reverend who's going to be in the room, like the last rights guy, he actually had to sign a waiver because they have no idea what's going to happen if the nitrogen gas escapes. And he actually ingests some of this nitrogen. So, but he said his calling, he can't deny his calling, and he's still going to be in the execution chamber or whatever it's called. So, but here is all the reasons why they are worried about this new method of execution. And here it is. So it shows that, first off, this is how it works. The inmate is strapped to a gurney. He's fitted with a respirator mask and then read the death warrant by a warden. So just picture, they're in that execution chamber. They got him laid out on the gurney. And then the warden comes in and he goes, all right, Mr. Kenny Eugene Smith, by the power of Judge Joe Blow, you are now granted, you're going to die, or whatever the fuck they say. Then the inmate, so then they ask him, do you have any last words before they activate the gas? See if he says anything poignant. I'm glad I killed the bitch. It was worth it for the $1,000. Who knows what he'll say? It's a dirtbag. Then second thing, after he does his last words, by the way, one of the things they're worried about is the way that, first off, the fact that he's strapped, and second, that he's got this respirator mask on. So then second step after he says before they activate the gas, he says his last words, the warden will then remotely activate the nitrogen hypoxia system, delivering a fatal dose of toxic gas. All right, so there you go. Here are the risks over here. The mask is not airtight, which could allow oxygen to seep in and subject the inmate to a prolonged execution. Okay. That's not good. You don't want it to take that long, but hey, who knows how long it took for that lady to die? You know what I mean? Um, the method could leave him in a vegetative state instead of killing him. Um, don't want that because that's just going to cost the state more money, and we wouldn't want that. You know what I'm saying? So who cares? Who cares how it makes him feel? We just don't want to keep costing the state money. Who cares if the guy turns into a vegetable? This guy's a dirtbag. Then the low oxygen environment could also cause nausea, which could cause the inmate to choke to death in his own vomit. Now, wouldn't that be a fucking, what a, I don't know, maybe I'm a sick son of a bitch, but I just think that this is I don't care if it makes his fucking, it makes him choke, if he chokes on his own vomit. I don't care. So once the air goes in, as the nitrogen fills the airways and prevents oxygen getting to the brain, he will fall unconscious in several seconds. So that's how they hope it's going to go. And then slowly, one organ after another will begin to fail, and the inmate should die within minutes. Nitrogen gas will only be switched off after the inmate flatlines on the EKG. And then if this does not occur, they're going to continue to pump more gas into this motherfucker for 15 minutes. So it's crazy what this guy's going to go through. There's the whole graphic if it makes it a little easier for you guys to read. I know somebody said it was hard to follow, but I was trying to zoom in because I don't know if you're watching on your phone, it might be hard to read. But so this does seem like it could be a little bit rough. There's a lot of stuff that could go wrong. The air seeps out, so it just takes forever. So it could take up to 15 minutes if there's just a little bit of air coming out of the side of the mask. It could just turn this guy into, fry his brain, turn him into a vegetable. Or the last option, make him so nauseous he pukes inside the mask and chokes and inhales and aspirates and chokes to death on his own vomit. Whew. All pretty brutal ways to go. Got to tell you, not so upset if that's the way a murderer goes out, especially in the way, it wasn't some sort of accidental death murderer or, something. This was you got paid to go murder someone. Just actually crazy. So here's actually the room. Here's what the room is going to look like where he is going to be executed. So I'll help paint the picture for you guys a little bit more. There you go. That's what he'll be strapped down to. There's also, I saw in the article that I was reading about this, they're saying this is not going to be a peaceful experiment. I think it's important for people to realize when you strap someone down like that, you can't expect someone who's choking to death, suffocating to death, not to resist. So they're not expecting this to be, and who was it that said that? This was Dr. Philip Nitschke, an assisted suicide expert. He actually does this where in places where euthanasia is legal, where people who are, they're sick or something and they want to off themselves, there's places where that's actually legal. This is what Dr. Nitschke says. I feel anxious about Kenny and I just don't know which way things are going to go. Nitschke told the New York Times. He says that while nitrogen hypoxia is suitable in chambers, the fact that Smith will be wearing a mask poses the possibility of oxygen leaking in and prolonging the procedure. So I guess that everybody is expecting him that he's going to be thrashing against the gurney. Oof, it's crazy. Disaster says, was his torture device created by Acme like in the cartoons? I don't think I understand the reference to torture device. Because it could break and it has so many problems like Wile E. Coyote and Acme. Now I got it. My bad. I was a little slow on that one. It's an old reference with the old Acme Warner Brothers cartoons. Weren't those the best though? Damn, those were so good with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Those were all so fucking good. It's Wabbit season. That was classic shit. You know what I'm saying? Wabbit season. Anyway, so yeah, I am okay with them using that guy as a guinea pig. I don't care what all those stupid side effects are or any of that shit. Who gives a shit? We got to figure out if it works or not. Why not that guy? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Man, another person who might be facing some future nitrogen hypoxia execution is this woman named Heather Steins. Heather Steins is a 45-year-old woman from Brooklyn, New York. Well, on Monday night, Steins was arrested after an anonymous 911 call was made to the NYPD tip line. Police showed up at this woman's apartment and, quote, observed an unconscious and unresponsive, unidentified male inside the apartment. EMS responded and pronounced the aided deceased on the scene. The aided. What do they mean by the aided? Oh, because they were performing aid on him. So EMS responded and pronounced the aided deceased on the scene. What a weird sentence. This was a sentence. This was from a statement from the NYPD. So there you go. A couple cops wrote that. That makes sense. So here's where this story gets weird. Just a woman getting arrested, right? Because there's a guy, what seems to be a dead guy on her living room floor. Bad enough. Kind of weird. That's kind of weird as it is, right? But it gets even stranger. They found a severed head and multiple body parts in her freezer. So they've detained her. They don't know who these body parts belong to, and they're now trying to identify the remains and who these body parts belong to. I don't know about you guys, but this absolutely reminds me of the Jeffrey Dahmer situation. It's like the same kind of thing where there's a random 911 call. But I guess in Jeffrey's situation, I know there was the guy that ran away. I think a guy got away from him, and that's why the neighbors ended up calling. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was kind of a similar situation where a 911 got called. The police just showed up at the house, and he was kind of forced to let them in. And then they found all these, body parts all over, and stuff in the freezer, and a body inside of a vat of acid, and all the crazy stuff that came with the Jeffrey Dahmer arrest. But this one, it's a woman, which makes it even crazier. So who knows what's going on in this? What happened? Is she a cannibal too, like Jeffrey Dahmer? Necrophiliac, like Jeffrey Dahmer? Who knows? What body parts are we talking about here? Because Dahmer had dongs in there. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of fudgesicles. He liked them dark. So he had a lot of fudgesicles in there. Gross. Meatsicles. Fudge meatsicles. Gross. Anyway, so here's a little bit more about this woman, though. So her husband, his name is Nicholas McGee. He's been in a Chesapeake, Virginia jail since September. I guess he was accused of trying to cash a fraudulent check at some bank. This is what one of his relatives told Daily Mail or whatever. McGee, the husband, was due to appear in court on Tuesday morning with his, and I guess it turns out, both of these, the husband and the wife, this Heather Steins and this Nicholas McGee guy, are both really bad drug abusers. I guess they used heroin and crack. They've both been arrested multiple times. The husband's sister-in-law goes on to say that this Heather Steins relapsed a year or two ago after, I guess, one of her own kids had died of a drug overdose. So they've not talked to the police about this investigation. They haven't told him, the guy who's in jail, the husband, he actually has no idea right now that the wife got arrested for this. But the funniest thing about the whole thing I found was it's the same old fucking story where if somebody is like a murderer, some weird ass murderer or whatever, there's a neighbor who inevitably always says the same fucking thing. Old Daryl, who lives across the hall from Heather in the Brooklyn block, would actually loan her cash sometimes, knew she was a drug addict. I guess people used to try to break into her apartment looking for money she owed them for drugs. Well, Daryl said, despite all that, he goes, she's cool as hell. I would never expect that she'd had a head in her freezer. Hell no. I would never expect that she'd have a head in her freezer. Hell no. There you go. So who knows, like I said, if she's been eating people like Dahmer. I guess her neighbors even called her a garbage can addict, like I guess is which means would do any kind of drug and literally rob and steal, to get those drugs. So that's one of the other differences with Dahmer. Dahmer didn't really, well, I don't know. I always thought he tried to keep a pretty low profile, but according to the last couple documentaries I saw about him, apparently he was doing a lot of like cruising at a lot of these bars and almost got caught quite a few times. So before he actually got busted for the big one, he almost got caught and stuff. So that was actually, I guess that's a little bit, I don't know, maybe they're similar trying to, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this. Is she eating these people? Why does she have all these people in her house? I really don't know. It's a very crazy story. So let's keep an eye on that. Her name is Heather Steins. We'll have to keep an eye on that story to see what this situation is, what happens to her. Let's see, what time is it? 8:30? All right, cool. So we were talking about that nitrogen hypoxia. We were talking about gas, right? I found another story today that it has to do with gas. It's not an execution chamber. It's a different kind of chamber, more of a tube. I'm talking about an airplane. There was a passenger who caused a flight to have to turn around and return to the gate before it took off. I guess this flight was supposed to be from Phoenix to Austin. But apparently, a passenger who was excessively farting forced the American Airlines flight to have to turn around and go back to the gate. So here's the story. I'm actually going to read this story to you guys because it's actually pretty funny. Apparently, he was a disgruntled passenger. Before most of the people boarded, this is according to one of the other passengers. He says, before most of the people had boarded, I observed that this man was audibly disgruntled about something. Maybe hungover, rough day, I don't know. But as soon as he sat down, he was grumbling about something under his breath, like fucking hell or something, this guy wrote. So then after all these passengers have boarded, the majority of them at least, the disgruntled person said, you thought that was rude? Well, how about this smell? And then proceeded to pass gas. So who knows what he's mumbling to himself. And then at some point he just starts to yell, you thought that was rude? Well, how about this smell? And just lets out a hot one. The guy goes on to say, I don't know what provoked that comment, and while it was kind of funny to overhear, it was uncalled for, especially coming from a grown man on an airplane. But the bad behavior didn't end there, guys. The man who just purposely farted moments ago then decided to loudly and condescendingly say, yeah, everybody, let's just eat the smelliest food possible at all the same time. And then a guy next to him was like, hey, if you don't like it around here, you can fly private. And then the farter goes, hey, that is so fucking rude. And then another person said, I think you're the rude one here, guy. Then he just continued to just rip ass over and over and over again. So much so that the announcement comes over saying, apologies for the interruption, but we are returning to the gate. We'll give you more info when we have it. We get back to the gate, and the flight attendant comes back and informs the fart man that he'll no longer be staying on the flight. He said he didn't understand, and then they told him, we'll just talk about it off the plane, buddy. So they grabbed him, yelled him off the plane, yanked him off the plane. And then finally, the person who commented said, we all breathed a sigh of relief when he was removed. Yep, because you could actually fucking finally breathe again. So, I thought it was a funny story. Imagine farting so badly that you have to have a car or a plane actually turn around. I mean, we've all been there. I'm trying to think like what my most embarrassing fart story is. I mean, there's one that pops to my mind as far as the most embarrassing fart story. 844-HIT-DOM, 844-448-3862. I mean, the farting in jars was kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you, because you're farting in front of other people, like purposefully like that. Like it was a little bit different than like the fart game where you fart on someone on purpose. This was like weird, almost like fetish farting. So that was a little embarrassing, but that doesn't even compare to what happened to me on one of the, I would say, I think my first real date. I was in high school. I was going. It was for this girl who I'd been pining away for forever. I had the biggest crush on her. I was in love with Julia. Um, so Julia finally agreed to go out on a date with me, and I think it was like date, less like giving me a chance is a little bit more than friends kind of a thing. I think it was TGI Fridays. I don't think maybe Applebee's, one of those kind of places like Ruby Tuesdays maybe or something. One of those kind of those type of places. Um, I ordered a massive gyro, big giant gyro, however you say it. I smothered that shit with absolutely like total tzatziki sauce. Like I love that cucumber cream yogurt sauce, whatever the fuck it is. I love that stuff. And I completely just covered it all over this gyro. And dude, not only was this embarrassing at the date, but what happened after on the way home was the worst because so I'm eating all this, it's just dripping down my arm. I mean, it was just like what a disgusting pig I was eating like this in front of a chick on a date. Like, how did my dad not say to me, yo, order some chicken fingers or something? You know what I mean? Like, dude, just ordering a big ass, nasty, messy ass gyro on this date. So one of the things that makes me really rip ass though, that really gets some hearty beefers, is when I eat anything with garlic in it. And if you've ever had tzatziki sauce, that shit is just full of garlic powder. I mean, it is just like dumped so hard in there. Yeah, so and Creepy Michelle says, no, you don't order a gyro on a fucking first date. Oh my God. Oh, it was the worst, absolute worst thing. I know she was grossed out by it. It was, I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It was dripping all the way. There was a tzatziki sauce that at one point went all the way down my arm, dripped off my elbow onto the table, and I had to clean it all up. It was absolutely disgusting. Not the most disgusting part. So I obviously drove her to the restaurant. We then left the restaurant, and you know how I was aware enough that you don't want to fart around a girl. So I decided that I was going to open the door for her. I had one brewing, bubble guts, the whole nine, because that's what garlic does to me. It gives me the worst bubble guts. And then so I was walked her to the door, and I was walking behind her. And I knew I could let one out, and it wasn't going to be loud. So I had a silent but deadly ready to rock. And major rookie mistake. I literally crop dust this girl. She sits down. As soon as she sits down, I let it out as I'm turning to close the door and literally waft it right in Julia's face. I actually hear her cough, like almost like a little, like one of those. I make my way around the car, just like fart scooting at my walk because I'm trying to get it all out. So I'm kind of pushing. So it's finally squeaking out. Then from there, I get into the car and it all follows me into the car. And so this was during the winter. So the windows were up and we're just sitting there hot boxing in my garlic tzatziki sauce farts for the whole way home. If you lived out where I grew up, it's a bit of a drive to get from your house to the restaurant. It's usually a good 10, 12 minute drive, maybe 15 even. So just sitting there cooking this poor girl in my stank ass garlic farts. Julie, I'm sorry. I feel bad to this day for doing that to you. So there you go. Julia did give me one more chance after that because I think she genuinely did kind of like me. She gave me one more chance, and I pulled the ultimate ball. It was the ultimate fumble of all time. Like we talk about Tony Romo's fumble in the playoffs where he fumbled the ball. This was the ultimate fumble. She invited me back to her house when her parents weren't home, and I did not make any moves. I said, let's go out in your front yard or your driveway and let's shoot some hoops. shoot some hoops. That's what I did. Gets worse. Invited over at that point in time, my best friend, who was Julia's ex-boyfriend. And he was actually cool and knew I always liked Julia, and I kind of just bit the bullet and was cool that my buddy liked her. I just got over it. It wasn't that big of a deal, to tell you the truth. It was, it was what it was. There were other girls to pine over is kind of how I looked at it. But boy, I tell you what, next move, I said, let's have him come over. Bring your ex over, my best friend. Great move. Really got her in the mood, you know what I'm saying? Pretty sure the two of them started arguing. Or I left, and they might have even started making out themselves. I can't remember exactly, but God, I was so bad. Man, I was so bad. I was so bad with girls. Not exactly great with them now, but God, I was so bad with women when I was a kid, when I was younger. Absolutely the worst. Brap is telling me what makes him fart. Arby's roast beef meal. I don't know. Want to know what makes you fart, you dipshits? I want to know your most embarrassing fart story. Where you farted at that's embarrassing. Everybody has food that makes them fart, you doo-doo head. Diz is doing the same thing. Telling me what food gives them farts. No. What's the most embarrassing place you farted in front of people, you dupes? Anyway. All right. I'm going to go into a little bit of, actually, before I do my little video dump, before we wrap things up. Here's a little video from the airplane, by the way. And I found an actual, actually, no, I'll just say that for the video dump. Fuck that. There might be there is a major announcement coming here to Cleveland. Not sure exactly when it's going to happen. Actually, I lied. It's going to be happening tomorrow at 1 p.m. here in Cleveland. This is, if you're not from Cleveland, you probably won't care about this, but you might. Even if you're can drive to Cleveland in a short distance, the dude, Carrie, 5-hour drive from the Rock. There's an announcement from the Cleveland Browns and Live Nation that a major concert is coming our way. No other details have been provided, but in an email sent to the local news station this morning, Live Nation announced it will be hosting a press conference Thursday at 1 to announce a major concert coming to Cleveland. Speculation is there's a huge list of people who are going to be there for this announcement. And people are saying, she's coming. Tay-Tay is coming to Cleveland. This is the rumor. This is the speculation that Taylor Swift is coming back to Cleveland. Now, I know she's been to Cleveland. She spent a lot of time in Cleveland, despite what people might, she's got Cleveland connections. Her guitarist, guy she dated for a long time, had a torrid affair with. No names should be mentioned. She's coming back to Cleveland potentially. So we'll see if Tay-Tay's going to be back. Now, I said to B1, I said, I don't know if Live Nation has anything to do with Taylor Swift, to tell you the truth. So who knows? It could be, and there's people from the Rock Hall there and stuff. So I have a feeling it might be something different, like the Rolling Stones or something like that are going to come to Cleveland. Something along those lines. Some sort of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame act or something. But it would be cool to have Taylor here. We'll bring, because obviously Trav would be here. And it's not a far drive from Philly. So obviously Jason would be here. So we might get the chance to see a little bit more of this. Play. Why is this thing not working? Why is this not working? What are you doing to me here? Oh yeah, might get to see some more of this. Here we go.
Oh, there's his brother. Says right on. That's Jason.
That's what I'm talking about. So there you go. So probably couldn't even play that music. Oh well. Well, you're gonna have to trim that out anyway. So Jason Kelsey, I'm actually not bringing up Chase. I actually only brought up Taylor as a way to bring up Jason Kelsey because Jason Kelsey is one of my new favorite people. I read a quote from him saying that he had drank 40 beers before he did that thing. 40 beers is how many beers he said when you have. That's what happens when you have. Oh, hold on one sec here. Where's the exact quote? He said, "This is how my mind works after 40 Miller Lights." He said, I didn't want to have my shirt off in the suite, so I thought I'm going to take my shirt, then jump out of the box, and then I can be with my Buffalo Bills compadres. And he blamed that, he blamed that on the 40 Miller Lights he had. Now, I brought that up because I like Kelsey. I think that's great. And if there's anybody that could probably drink 40 beers, I believe it would be Jason Kelsey. Now, I do have a story about a guy. I've had this story for a minute, and I never got around to it. Allegedly, there's a guy from Ireland. His name is Sean Bryan, great Irish name, geez, from Kilkenny, Ireland. And he's Sean, S-E-A-N, the right way. His new claim to fame, and just taking a look at this guy, I feel like he might be telling the truth. This guy claims that he downed 81 Guinness in one weekend. 81 beers in a weekend. Now, the internet is saying this is impossible. There's no way that he did this. Here's what he said. He said he began drinking at 1 p.m. on December 29th at his local bar, and then it continued over the next 2 days, finishing his 81st pint at 9 p.m. on New Year's Eve. So half a day on the 29th, all day on the 30th, and then another half a day on New Year's Eve. And he was in bed by midnight. So about two to 2.5 full days of time to drink right there, I'd say. And he claims to have drank 81 pints of Guinness. Now, he's a 6'4", large guy. The internet's saying, they're mad at him, saying this is unhealthy, you shouldn't be doing it, you're stupid to boast about it. Get the fuck out of here. That's a fucking accomplishment. My dad was bragging about that shit when I was a kid. My dad famously, and I don't know if you remember this from the old show, we even challenged Dieter to do this, the famous beer drinker from the old show, to see if he could do what my dad used to do between Thursday, the day before Memorial Day weekend. He would start on Thursday, and he would finish on Sunday night. His goal by Sunday night, in that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days, was to drink 100 beers. Whether they're draft beers, so sometimes he'd be drinking big 16-ounce draft beers. Other times he was drinking the 12-ounce cans. Other times he's drinking bottles of beer. So we're talking full beers. My dad would drink 100 beers every Memorial Day weekend for my entire life. Now, not my entire life, until I was about, 19 or 20, because then he got pancreatitis so bad it almost killed him. And they told him that if you drink again, this could happen to you again. And he promised my sister that he'd never drink again. So my dad has actually not had a sip. Well, he accidentally drank a beer one time. He said it almost made him throw up because he thought it was a pop that he was going to drink. And he's never had a sip since. So kudos to him for not killing himself with pancreatitis. So I'm definitely not healthy. I'm not advocating drinking 100 beers in one weekend by any means. It's not good for you. But I have a hard time believing that this guy did this with Guinness. Because my dad did this with Busch Light. You know what I mean? Which is very, very different than Guinness. So I don't know if the fact that my dad had a little bit more time than this guy's doing it in less time, and he drank 81. I don't think even if you add that third day on, he's going to get up to the 100 that my dad got up to. So I'm a little suspect of the story, even though I know it can be done. Now, I can't remember if on the old show if Dieter did that. I can't remember if he actually accomplished his goal or not. I think he might not have, and ended up giving my dad props for it because he did it because he just said how hard it was, and it was a lot of work, and so gave the old Struts, give old Struts some props for his drinking prowess. So there you go. All right, speaking of drinking prowess, let's do a little video dump here, and we'll wrap things up. What do I got for us? All right, so we just talked about airplane. Here's a guy. We love a good airplane incident. This is a guy who was on a Ryanair flight. Speaking of Ireland, he was on a Ryanair flight, and I can't remember if I think they were headed into Spain, or I'm not exactly sure where it was going, but he ended up pushing one of the flight attendants, this guy on this flight, and then this is what ended up happening. Play.
He's coming up.
Joke hold.
That's it.
Look at that guy right here. Hey! My favorite part of the video right there.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye.
Stay away.
Well done! Oh my goodness. Yeah, because that's what you really needed.
So they have to struggle to get him off the plane a little bit. They finally get over there. They get him off the plane. He's still resisting, so a third cop comes up and starts twisting his arm up behind him. So yeah, don't fuck around on a plane. You're gonna end up getting your arms chucked up. Anyway, so go back to this part. Really, the main reason I play this video is because I love this moment right here. Right as these guys, watch the guy in the blue. Yeah, bitch, yeah. Look at look at him go down to look at him dead in the eye while he can talk shit while the cops got him in a fucking chokehold. Look at that shit. Hold on. Turn the audio back on. I turned it down while I was scrubbing. He must have been being that guy must have been being a real fucking asshole to get an entire plane cheering when he gets thrown off of it. So there you go. I like that. I thought that was a good video. I enjoyed that video. Oh, let's see. What else do I have here? All right. I have. So this video came out the other day. Ohio State women's basketball. They had a big upset win. I think Iowa State's who they beat. The women's basketball team had this huge big win, and all of the fans decided to come running onto the court after they won. And this is what happened to one of the star players in all of women's college basketball. Watch in the middle of the screen. Boom! I don't know if you saw it happen really quick. It was right in the middle. But watch, you see there's a collision. There's a fan running onto the court, not paying attention. Cell phone up in the air. Here, I'll zoom in on it a little bit so you can kind of see it a little better. She runs and bam, they run right into each other. All right, now this was a big controversy. Should fans be running onto the court? We have star players, one of the best players in the world, getting taken out because we have fans running onto the court, blah, blah, blah. Now, another angle of this came out. And it turns out, you know what basketball players are known for when they get bumped, when they get run into? Flopping. They're floppers. Draymond Green, famous flopper. One of the biggest floppers ever. This girl, Caitlin Clark, seemingly took a flop on this. Look at this. The girl tries to get out of the way. So the girl saw her. You could see Caitlin is looking right at her and clearly sees her. Clearly looking right at her. This girl tries to get out of the way. Caitlin then, boom, oh, look at this. Boom, oh, arms fly up in the air, spin and a fall. Oh, I'm down. That is a basketball flop if I've ever fucking seen one. Look at that shit. Flap. Oh, spa. I'm down. Whatever. So yeah, that video going viral, and then the next day, I think this was yesterday, this came out. calling this girl out for one of the most ultimate flops you've ever seen. And let's see here. What else do I have? I've got, oh, this is a couple things. Oh, I love these videos. If you guys ever see a video like this, I love when you guys send me stuff at anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. If you see stuff you like, by the way, or you think you see something you think I'd like to see, send it to me, and maybe I'll play it on the air. But one of my favorite types of videos is when it gets icy and vehicles lose control on the ice. Now, I love a good hill video where you got the ones on a hill and they just keep sliding and they bounce off cars like what is it called? A ping pong, bouncing back and forth off of that shit, back and forth like pong. And here is one that I really enjoyed from the other day when it was really icy. That's a fire truck. Look at that fucking thing. It just keeps fucking going. It's still sliding, runs into a house. Look how fast it spins too. Ooh, that car went flying. How did I miss that before? Ooh, shit. That car went where did it start? Where does that car start? I can't even tell. There it is. Is it in the driveway and it gets knocked all the way over into the other house's driveway? Holy shit, that's crazy. That thing got thudded. So there you go. A good slick ice video. I love those. So if you guys see any of those, make sure you send them my way. Anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. Thank you, Team Z. Appreciate you for that one. And I think I've got, oh man, you know what? Here's one that's pretty crazy too. I've been to a lot of weddings, and in fact, I've been to weddings where there were rules about certain songs or I think line dances that I was not allowed to play because their floor was weak. And if there was too much jumping, the floor could collapse. So I wasn't allowed to do that there, which was really, really odd. I don't think I ever worked there again after that. But here is a video of a wedding in Italy. Check this out. And I turned the sound off because... So you see them dancing some sort of Italian traditional music. It sounds like... Da, 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 da. And the fucking floor then falls through. You can't really see it, and I've never been able to find another angle of it, so if you find one, send it to me. But you see everybody dancing, then all of a sudden, remember, there are people standing right here, right? And then all of a sudden, you pan away, you cut back, the floor is gone, and you can kind of see somebody falling with it in the dust right there in the middle. There goes a head right there. And these people end up falling through the floor. And I do believe that the bride and groom actually went tumbling through the floor as well. Let me just double check here. I think there's a picture of them, the actual bride and groom after the fact. Let's see here. Oh, here's what it looked like afterwards. The actual room, you could see the hole in the ceiling from underneath. They were in, this is the room where it fell through. This is where all the people fell through from above, which is kind of what a cool architecture in that place, by the way. So where's that picture? I swear, the guest said it felt like an earthquake as the hole opened up and they fell down into the room below. And here are the actual newlyweds. Yep. So this is Paolo Mugnani and Valeria Ibarra. They're 26 years old. They spent their wedding night in the hospital, alongside many of their friends. Around 40 different people at the wedding reportedly needing medical treatment after the floor collapsed. So here's this poor couple. He's smiling, trying to play it off. She looks pissed the fuck off. She's like, I told you the floor felt weak in this fucking place. And he's like, you're just fat, bitch. The floor's fine. And it's the next thing you know, the floor falls through, and he goes, see, I told you were fat, not you were right. Anyway, alrighty, guys, I got one little quick one to wrap things up here. Since we love our McDonald's challenges here, Wait, where'd it go? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Where's this video? Oh no, did it not save? Oh, I suck. Oh wait, no, there it is. Found it. Sorry. Here we go. We love our McDonald's here on Another Dumb Show. We've obviously do Mikey's McDonald's Challenge. This might be something. Now, most of the time, the fucking flurry machines are broke. So it would be really fun to do some sort of. I would love to do like a brain freeze challenge with some flurries because I do love good McFlurry. But they're always broken, right? That's the urban legend or whatever. What's true? Every time I've tried to get a McFlurry, that thing is broken. It's really the truth. But this girl was so lucky enough to finally get a McFlurry where the machine's not broken. And I think she is going to wish that the machine was broken after this happened.
Gloves. Trash bag. I'm gonna pee. Can we sue?
She drank the whole thing too. It was at the bottom of the McFlurry. There it is again. Look at how gross. Can you imagine
Gloves.
eating a McFlurry and then finding that at the bottom of the fucking thing? Now, the only thing I could think of on this one is that like that was a stack of cups, and somehow like they left the, you ever seen a sleeve of cups? So I'm thinking that what happened in this case is the plastic sleeve somehow was like on the bottom one, right? And like maybe they got to the bottom and they just put that next plastic sleeve one on the top, and then somehow they just kept putting more cups in to where that plastic sleeve got pushed all the way to the bottom. So when they pulled it out and then filled up the McFlurry thing, they just didn't even see it. It's just this clear plastic bag down at the bottom of this cup. Who's going to look at the bottom of a cup? You just pull it off the thing, put it under the thing. You didn't think twice about it. So I don't think they exactly have like any sort of case here to be able to sue. Anything like that, but I would be gagging and heaving if this happened to me at a McDonald's. So that would gross me out. So, all right, I think that is going to wrap it up for the rest of the evening. I will be back live tomorrow at 7. I want to thank all of you guys for coming and spending your evening with me. You know how much I appreciate it. I think that's all I got for you guys. I'll be back live tomorrow at 7. If you haven't already hit a thumbs up on tonight's video, please take a second to do that. Obviously, like the video. Put your comments on the video. If you're not watching live, if you want to comment about something we talked about tonight, I read your comments live on the air, so make sure you do that. Those of you who love the show, I just talked about having to pay bills, and we need the show to grow, guys, for us to be able to do another dumb show keep it up for a long time. We got to get the show to grow a little bit. And one of the ways you guys can help me with that is by sharing episodes of the show. Share it on Instagram, share it on Twitter, TikTok, wherever you want to share it. Clip it up. Do whatever you guys want to do with it. Have a little bit of fun with it. But if you could share the show, that would be greatly appreciated. Those of you who are watching, if you're not already subscribed, please take a second to subscribe to the channel. YouTube loves when we have more subscribers. And also, that will give you guys access to the chat, and you can hang out with the League of Dummies. And you could send a comment that I'll read in, like Brap, who says, how do you eat or drink the whole thing and not notice it? He thinks that video was fake with the McDonald's McFlurry. No, I don't think so at all. I think just the way I explained it, it got shoved all the way down to the bottom. And then McFlurry, you can't suck a McFlurry, even though you have that big straw that they pretend is a spoon/straw. You can't suck a McFlurry unless you let it get soft, and who does that? So you just scoop. You just scoop and eat, and then once you get to the bottom of the ice cream, you find a fucking bag in there. Ugh, that's so gross. That would freak me the fuck out. Because even the shape of the bag, it looked almost like a sleeve. You know what I mean? So anyway, so that's it. So if you have any comments like Brap, you can always do it in the chat, or you could do it on one of our videos, and I will read them live the next day. So that is going to wrap things up for us tonight on another Dumb Show. So thankful to have all you guys with me. I am out of here. See ya.